Hello all, welcome to my video. In this particular video, I am actually going to share my experiential insights in terms of how to prepare for a business analyst, senior business analyst, product owner, and a product manager roles in IT. So what I have done is last week I was actually giving a coaching or a mentoring to one of my mentees as part of the Agile mentorship program because that particular person was preparing for a product manager role in a reputed company. So that person shared me the JD and the resume cover letter. I was actually going through the resume cover letter and then trying to juxtapose that particular understanding with the JD, and then trying to know prepare a sheet which will help that person to equip in terms of increasing the probability to clear the interview, right? So what I have done is I have prepared an Excel file. Okay, now in this particular video, I'm just going to go through the high level view of this particular Excel file so that it will give you some kind of a direction, some kind of an enablement for you to focus your effort in terms of how to gear up for the upcoming interviews, particularly for the role of a business analyst, senior business analyst, product owner, and a product manager. Okay, this is the context. So what I have done is I have created multiple tabs in this particular Excel sheet. One is on the domain, second is on the tool being used. It could be Jira, or it could be your Rally or CA, Agile Central, or it could be ADO, depending upon the context of the client. However, in this particular example, I have taken ADO as the tool. Okay, and let us assume for now that the domain is a marine and a shipment related client or a customer. Let's say that you wanted to build a product or you wanted to build an application cater to the needs of tracking the logistics, means in terms of the vessel tracking, marine operations, right? MARINE. So if that is the domain, probably what kind of questions could come? Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritties, before we get into the granularity of the sheet, before we get into the subtle nuances of the sheet, let us invest some time in understanding the multiple tabs of the sheet in the first place. So what I have done, I have created a domain sheet which is going to tell guys in this particular domain for this particular JD, for this particular resume and a cover letter, probably these could be the anticipated questions, and this could be a summary view of your answer. See, I'm not saying people that you need to buy out these answers, but you need to understand the principles behind practices, right? Why this question is asked, what does the interviewer wanted to know from you by asking a particular question, and make your answer practical and pragmatic. Don't give answers what you have read from chat gpt or any other kind of an internet material, because if the interviewer is asking you a second level or a third level question, if you have not prepared it well, believe me, you cannot clear the interview. And so what I have done is I have given a practical answer backed up with an experiential tips, right? So one is on the domain, second is on the tool. Let's say in that client, those people are using ADO, assume for example. Then probably what could be some of the questions pertaining to a product owner or a product manager role, purely from a tool or an ADO point of view. Then, from a general agile process, right, your agile process perspective, what could be some of the questions in terms of product owner and product manager? And these are the clippings I have taken from my own YouTube channel, my own videos, which I made somewhere in 2022-23 time frame. In most of my free webinars, and then I have taken that particular clip of that particular image from the video and then pasted it here, so to help my mentee to have a cross reference of the concepts, right? So here I have given some questions and I have given some probable answers. Say for example, what kind of metrics do you use to measure the product success and the team performance? I have given the metrics over here: NPS, conversion rate, flow efficiency, defect, just as an example. Okay, Here, I have given some of the screenshots from a YouTube video. For example, what could be the difference between a project mindset and a product mindset? So instead of giving a Google link or a ChatGPT material, I have taken pointers from my own YouTube videos, what I have made in the past. I have paused that video, I have taken a print screen, and that particular screenshot have been embedded over here. Okay. And then, what are all some of the very important questions factoring the domain, right? I have given some sample questions and some kind of an examples for it. Just a minute, please. Okay, so some of the questions, right? Some of the questions from the maritime logistics, some questions based on the compliance, some questions based on the stakeholder engagement or management. So whenever you folks look into the JD, whenever you folks look into your own resume and cover letter, you need to have that competency, that skill or capability to first of all tell, okay, for this JD, for this resume, and for my cover letter at this point in time, what could be the probable questions? Okay, if you are not even able to anticipate those questions and then no give a due diligence to prepare well, then how are you going to clear the interview per se? Okay, forget about clearing the interview. What is more needed is that once you join that company, you should be able to deliver value, right? Because there is no point of grabbing an offer letter and then having sleepless nights to actually deliver the project, right? So preparation matters. That's what I am trying to tell. Preparation is something which is the only thing which will distinguish a failure and a success. So here I was trying to help my mentee as part of my agile mentorship program by giving a detailed description or a elaborative description on this particular sheet. So here I was having something on the domain, something on the ADO, something on the agile POPM, your product owner and product manager related concepts, and some of the very important notes. And then I'm going no shifting the gear to the scenario based questions, right? So typically for that role, what could be some of the potential scenario based questions? Now, what is the guarantee that the same questions will be asked? Need not be. However, your mind has been trained to get that flavor. And because you have a precedence, it is no more an uncharted territory or a terrain for you in the interview. By the way, these questions are formulated by me as part of my experience as an interview panel for multiple agile jobs over a period of 10 years. Okay, so I have somewhere close to 24 years of experience in IT and somewhere very close to 17 to 18 years of experience in a agile driven engagements. And for the past 10 to 12 years, I was basically a part of the interview panel member for Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, project manager, delivery manager, product owner, product managers, Agile transformation consultants, enterprise Agile coaches. So since I'm part of the interview panel, to a very considerable extent, I know how does an interviewer think by looking into the JD, by looking into the resume, and most importantly, based on the answers provided by the candidate to the already asked question. So factoring all these key elements or inevitable parameters in the mind, I have created this particular sheet. And then if you go here, these are all something like a POPM metrics. Okay, what are the top 20 product owner and product manager metrics in a maritime and in an enterprise context, and how these metrics will help you? Okay, so I have given some example and your AARRR metric, right? All these things I have put over here. By the way, AARRR means acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. Okay, now just to optimize the time, if you go here in this sheet, I have given a detailed explanation on AARRR. Okay, these metrics are also called as a pirate metrics. And now here few more notes. So what I'm trying to say is, see, generally people used to focus on a case studies and the success transformations. We also need to look into the failure patterns, right? So there could be some questions in the interview. Okay, tell me about a time you have failed. See, let me put a caveat over here. I also know very well that these answers should come naturally, but then think logically and practically. If you have not done that role hands on for a very considerable span of time, then where from suddenly answers will come naturally? You need to prepare well, right? Preparation is the key. So, the very purpose of this video, I'm not suggesting people to fake your competency here. Absolutely no. All that I'm trying to tell you people is, guys, do the groundwork. There is no substitution for hard work, right? So you need to get the bread out of your sweat, right? So because you don't have any kind of a shortcut for sustained success. Of course you have strategies and techniques to expedite the success, but you don't have anything like a tactic or a shortcut win or something like a quick fix, right? So keeping into consideration the real pragmatic situation, I used to invest a lot of time to coach my mentees or coachee as part of my agile mentorship program, so that their competency level go to the next level, their capability go to the next level. I'm not here telling people to fake your expertise. You cannot fake your expertise. You will be getting caught in the interview for sure, because in the interview nowadays people give you real time case studies. No one is going to ask you a theoretical question, and by the way you solve the case study, an experienced interviewer can quickly tell, are you an experienced guy, or you are an expert in a chat gpt and just took answers from there and then reading it out. Okay, so just keep these points in mind. And here I have given a lot of prioritization techniques, and every technique has its own pros and cons. Every technique has its own limitation, so you need to know which technique to use where, to what extent, and most importantly why. And for some of the examples from the previous projects, because the interviewer may ask you know what kind of example you have from your previous projects. Some of the frequently used domain terms, followed by what are the top 15 traits needed for a product owner or a product manager role in the interview. So all that I'm trying to say is, when I coach people in terms of their real-time capability building, I prepare sheets like this and then give it to my mentees, not just giving it to them. I do the coaching session, I do the mentoring session, because of which their competency capability goes to the next level, because of which confidence evolves naturally. Because there is no point in going to people and then telling, guys, feel confident without giving the capability, right? So I was just making this video while I was traveling, and that's the only reason I could not enable the video. Nothing apart from that. When I upload this particular video onto the YouTube channel, try to go through the video, take notes, slowly try to connect the dots to gear up well for your upcoming interview. If in case you wanted to connect with me for any kind of a coaching, mentoring call or a session, you can ping me on the WhatsApp and then we can probably fix a time. Okay, I will be sharing my WhatsApp number in the comment section or in the description of this particular YouTube video. Okay, cheers, bye.